Welcome to the Hollywood Scholar. I'm Jed Morgan, and Lauren Hystrich, the showrunner of Netflix's Witcher show, has finally broken her silence about the Henry Cavill recast Backlash. And there's some interesting comments hidden in here. It's about two different interviews that she says some things. Nothing is necessarily unprofessional or untoward, but they're interesting comments that I want to go over with you guys nonetheless. And additionally, there will be some additional information about the character that I talked about in yesterday's video, Eitr. Her casting has been announced with the actor's name, some set photos and stuff like that released that I want to go over really quickly. But we got this article here from IGN that has her first set of comments right here at the beginning, where Lauren Hystrich says, "What I'm excited about is that we are allowing this franchise to continue growing and that we get new energy and chemistry that we haven't discovered yet." It's a very interesting way of responding to Henry Cavill's departure. It's like, oh, we get something new. New is good. New is great. I love new. Not necessarily anything wrong with that statement there, but it's an interesting state of mind that she has at this time that I'm very curious about what the cause of that is. She continues, "And to me, that's the fun part of television. You don't know exactly where the adventure is going to end. So I'm really excited about this." Now, this, out of all her comments, is the one that I have the most issues with, because she should absolutely know where the adventure is going because she has source material. But that's another example of the biggest problem indicative with the Netflix Witcher series is they're not adapting the books properly or really at all. And that's why so many people have speculated that's why Henry Cavill decided to leave the project, because they weren't being faithful to the books. And so if she doesn't know where the adventure is going, why is she a showrunner? Because you don't take on a project like this without knowing where it's going to end up. With the amount of Witcher books and Witcher games that there are, this would be a 10-year project, even if they were doing yearly seasons versus the 2-3 year between seasons that they've been currently working on. That's a long investment for Lauren Hystrich if she doesn't even know where the adventure is going. It's a weird mentality, and weird to say that that's a defining aspect of television. For a sitcom, for a show that she's making up on her own, I can see an argument for that. But for something like The Witcher, that is an adaptation of a novel series, you absolutely should know where the adventure is going. And it's not a defining aspect of television in general. Just a really weird perspective to take, and might be indicative of her mindset and the way she approaches this. And it's rife for speculation, if nothing else, is why she's coming at it from this perspective. And I do have to praise IGN, as chilly as they are, for mentioning that. It's odd that she's coming at it from this perspective, because there's books. She should know where the adventure is going to end. So I do have to praise them for coming at it from that perspective. The rest of the article is more defending her than anything else, but at least they mention, hey, she should know where it's going to end. Why'd she say that? That's odd. But more recently, a couple days after this interview came out, she got another one with the tech radar. And this one, she actually specifically mentioned Henry Cavill by name. She says, "It's a big deal for us too." And that's the thing. There's a lot of talk and rumors about, and we fully understand why fans are going there. And those rumors are what I was mentioning a moment ago about people believing that Henry Cavill decided to depart the show after its desecration and abominable adaptation of the Witcher books became so prominent, and it was never going to turn around. And so that's why he left. That's personally what I believe, but it is absolutely still a rumor. And so she's going there with it. She's like, hey, I get where you guys are coming from. Nothing necessarily unprofessional about this statement, but she's focusing on those rumors, and those rumors definitely paint her in a bad light. And so under the circumstances, she responded pretty professionally. I'm gonna have to say that these comments don't necessarily have an issue with them as a whole, besides that weird thing about television not being certain future. Weird comment there. But this, considering how people are laying the blame at her doorstep, rightfully so, this isn't attacking the fans. And so it's almost a bad situation when you have to almost praise Hollywood for not yelling at fans. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. It kind of sucks, but you know, the dog doesn't bite you once. And so you have to reward that behavior. So Lauren Hystrich, kind of okay response to everything here, but she continues. "What I will say is please come back to The Witcher for season 3 so we can continue to do this." Definitely sounds like begging there. Definitely seems like her perspective is, oh my God, we're going to lose this. And that's pure speculation on my part, pure theorizing. I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this can be classified as begging? Because yeah, Henry Cavill, he does have another season that he's already filmed that will be released next year. I wonder how many people will watch that, if that'll get explosive numbers and then the series will die after that, or if it'll die up front because they already know he's departing. Interesting thing to look out for next July. But yeah, definitely feels like she's begging because she knows this is the most precarious the show has ever been, and it's going to die. I believe that she knows that, as I firmly believe it is going to die as well. She continues, obviously that Henry Cavill's departure is huge news, and what I don't want to do is, this has to stay about Blood Orange and Declan, the cast and the crew. This is their time in the spotlight. This isn't a time to distract from the big news. Yes, there's a spinoff coming out that nobody asked for, nobody cares about, but it is their time in the spotlight, yes, but the central focus is the main Witcher show. So when something big happens about that, that affects the spinoff. So trying to diverge fan interest or fan talking points to this spinoff that nobody cares about is deflection of the highest degree. No, it's the main Witcher show. It's what this whole series revolves around, including this spinoff. So yes, it is completely okay to hyper-focus on Henry Cavill's recasting news, even with Blood Origin coming out. But in one paragraph, she goes, no, please stay, and please watch our spinoff. Don't talk about Henry Cavill. Please watch our spinoff. Still very professionally the way she does it, but I believe that there is enough there for speculation about her mindset, and it's an interesting discussion to be had nonetheless. And continuing off my yesterday's video, Either will indeed be a part of the series going forward, and they have announced the casting for Either. And I have a big problem with her being included in this show really at all, because she's not really a character. She's just an oracle. She could just be a corpse whose mouth opens and spews prophecy for all she impacts the story besides the actual words. And I definitely don't want to see her this young, and I definitely don't want to see her story begin and have her prophecy come so much earlier than it should, because they said in the interview that I covered yesterday that the main Eithling's prophecy will be included in the show. Big problem with that. I don't want to see Eitling as a young woman. It's not something I want to see. Now, in regards to this specific actress, nothing specifically against her. She seems fine for the role. I'm a little sick of blonde elves in the Witcher universe. Just gonna say that. Wish they dyed her hair, but you can see from this set image that they haven't. And yeah, she looks way too young. She looks way younger than she does here. This is like a teenager. Eitling isn't supposed to be a teenager. She's not supposed to be a character really at all. And this is a lot about her story as well in this show, because they've also cast her mother. So she's going to have a story. She's going to have drama. And it's going to be this weird situation that I'm not okay with. Eitling should not be a major player, especially with a mother, with the story, with the prophecy at this time in history. It doesn't make sense. Her prophecy cannot predate the conjunction or even coincide with the conjunction. It's not going to make any sense. Again, I don't have any issues with her casting necessarily. I just don't want the character to be involved in it. So nothing against her. She seems fine enough for the role, especially in relation to the older Eitling that they had in season 2, which they shouldn't have had her in that either. But, they're going to do what they're going to do. And so, as I always like to end these videos, I do want to close it out with looking at the petition for Henry Cavill's return and the writer's replacement. It's getting very close to 300,000, just broke 275,000. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. Fans are responding, and she had to respond to them back. They're ratioing every trailer for Blood Origin that comes out. They're doing that petition. Every social media post is rife with people who are saying, hey, you messed up. You've got to fix this. Henry Cavill or no Witcher. And that is not a statement that I thought I would have agreed with several years ago, but I'm very much on his bandwagon because he cares about the source material. And I personally believe that's why he left. And so as long as they're in this mindset, it's not going to be a good show, in my opinion. And these little almost professional kind of ambiguous statements are not going to be enough to change anything. She believes just saying, hey, come back and watch her show is going to be enough to change fans' opinions about her decisions and the show that she's built. It's not going to change anything. It is too little, too late, and not a big enough move, and is ultimately ineffective. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Anon.
Hey, yo, are you feeling what I'm doing up in here? Oh, I know you are. Do you miss all the good, compelling stories that we used to get back in Hollywood that they ain't putting down no more? Oh, I know you missing it. So check out my book series, Odyssey of a Phoenix, a mythological epic about philosophy, morality, and modern-day mental illness issues, baby. Book 1, Down in Flames. Book 2, Apocalypse Then. These are currently on sale. What are you waiting for? Get your hands on them. And we got Book 3, Kill the Dark, is coming down the pipeline. Just wait for all the good stuff that's dropping. You ain't gonna be disappointed, fam.